Clapp, and most of the work I do, especially here in this setup, is comic book art, essentially. That's what I feel most inspired by and what I like doing the most. I think as a kid I read a lot of comic strips, more like Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield and that sort of thing, and I really enjoyed those as a kid. But it wasn't until I was much older, probably 15 or 16, that I got really exposed to like graphic novels. And that's kind of because I had always really enjoyed designing characters, and I had been building my fantasy world for years at that point. But that was the moment when I realized, when I picked up a comic book and thought, wow, this is really similar to what I'm already doing. Because before then, I hadn't really felt like I wanted to pursue a career as an artist or a life as an artist. But then when I picked up a comic book, I realized that it was really similar to what I had been doing, and it really spoke to me, and I felt really excited it made me excited to make art again. So that's when I kind of realized that this is probably what I'm going to end up doing. For a really long time, I did art kind of really casually, like it was just, I would doodle when I was bored, but it wasn't ever something that I really actively pursued or that I really felt like I was putting time into. I don't remember the exact point or the exact moment where I decided I was going to draw more, but at that point, whatever it was, I just did. Now it's just kind of become habit. Part of the process has been trying to make it feel routine, like something I come home every day and that I'm excited to do. If I'm procrastinating like other things by doing this, then that's probably a good sign. Well, that's definitely true that once I start like a character or a drawing, I don't like to feel like I've left it unfinished. I'll usually try to, like I'll say, oh, this is an idea for a webcomic I have, so I try to do like really well-defined character sketches. Like I'll take one character and do like several different angles. I'll do like a close-up on their face. Maybe if they've got, I don't know, some item that they carry with them, I'll do a close-up of that. So then I have an idea of like every angle or every version or every position essentially that I'm going to have to draw that character in, and then that kind of helps me plan accordingly or help do follow-up projects from that. I feel like having that particular goal in mind when I sit down really helps me. Part of my being in the zone is just sitting down and committing to it and then just building up momentum as I go. So I was specifically looking for Batgirl issue 6, and I just kind of happened upon it in a comic book store and picked it up. I was immediately hooked because it was really different than a lot of the comics I read. It was about a younger, like a college-age woman in kind of like a modern, hip college neighborhood. And that was sort of a writing approach or a character approach that I'd never really seen before, is like a real solid effort to make a modern, like a superhero that feels like they actually exist in the modern era. And I was really inspired by that. So I kept reading issues of Batgirl as they came out. And now I have like over 20 straight issues of that series. I have like the entire run now. So I was so determined to find it when I went to New York because I had issues of the new run that they've made. I had issues 1 through 5 and then issue 7.
They're out of Batgirl issue 6.
No.
I've looked everywhere. This was my last hope.
And I'm a real stickler for having matching issues on my shelf. So I was like, I gotta get issue 6 of this comic that's kind of helped redefine how I think about my own comics. So look everywhere for it. Thank you so much.
Do they have it?
They have it.
Wait, they have it? Whoa. Dude, life is good.
Wait, Ben, can you show me what it is?
Why can you
Show me.
so long for that comic book?
Yeah.
After a long last, I got it. So this is the map, My Fantasy World. This is actually probably the third or fourth iteration of the world, because I don't know if I mentioned before, but as over like the 10, 12 years I've been working on it, it's changed, evolved, decided to modify it a bit. So this is probably the largest iteration of the map I've made, which I'm really excited about because it means I can add lots and lots of little details, put in ideas that I had before and couldn't incorporate till now. The place that I've created specifically, I call it Karoth, is the name of the whole world, which I took the name, its derivative of Ceres, the Roman goddess of the earth. A lot of the inspiration for names comes from different, like, old dead or frozen languages. Like, a lot of these are derivative of Latin, Old English, and I think there's a few that are like Russian and Norse as well. And it's kind of accumulated into this big world of like this whole range of different kingdoms and places, and kind of I've built this whole history around it. Like there's some places on the map you can see that are more like empty, they're more like ruins, and then as you go further east it feels more developed and more modern. I'm hoping that from far away that people won't quite be able to read the text. They'll just see the big scope and won't actually see the details until they come in. And I'm hoping that it'll create a really immersive viewing experience, because that's what I want this world to be. I've put so much time and energy into it that I want people to feel immersed. I guess the why of why I do art is because I really like creating things. I've worked a couple jobs before that were mostly just like retail and service things, and I think what I decided I liked least about those was that there was no like finished product. There was no completed project that we were presenting at the end of the day. It felt just kind of like if I feel like I'm moving day to day without then having a project or a drawing or whatever. It could be like I could get the same feeling if I was a musician or a filmmaker, or just I feel like just based on who I am, I gotta be making something, and art is just what I've chosen to make.